A lot of people who were either born overseas or are children of migrants think that they have immunity to a lot of the diseases back in their home country, when in fact they don't in most cases. So they're putting themselves at risk because they're not aware of the risk, and by not being aware of the risk, they're not going to their doctor and getting the vaccinations and the advice that they need. The misconception is that they believe they have immunity to the diseases that are prevalent in their country of birth. The reality is that they're not.
My friends refused to do all the things that I was doing, but I was like, I wear my Asianness like a suit of armour and it will protect me for every Asian country I go to. Bear in mind, this is the first time I've ever been to China. It's like I thought I had a genetic immunity to getting sick from street food. Clearly not the case. But also when it comes to visiting friends and relatives, you're actually at higher risk because you don't eat on the beaten track. You tend to go off-piste a little bit more. You eat things that are far more local. You live life far more locally. You don't have a sanitized touristy experience the more that you know a country.
I think one of the most common ways people fall ill when they're travelling overseas is through where they eat. You know, it can be very different the way food's prepared here in Australia compared to where it might be in any country around the world. And just that difference, it's not to say that one is cleaner or more dirty than the other, just that difference in food preparation can really affect the things that you can get from it.
I'm only eating in restaurants so I won't get sick. I'm not going to eat street food so I won't get sick. I'll stick to the restaurants. The thing with street food is you can see how it's being prepared. You can see what you're being plated up. And if it's cooked in front of you and it's served hot, preferably on a paper plate, something disposable, then you know that it should be safe.
If you know what you're doing, street food is no more dangerous than a restaurant, and also a restaurant is no more safe than street food.
My health, my choice. If I get sick, this won't impact anyone else. You can bring home disease.
I go away and I travel overseas and I'm like, oh, I'm tough, I can handle anything, you know, I don't mind being a bit sick, it's fine. But the idea that I could go away, not take care of myself, come back and infect my son was truly terrifying to me. It's not something that I'd ever considered before. It's not something that I'd even thought was a possibility, frankly. I've traveled away with him, he's got something on the plane and given it to me, and I'm like, okay, well, that's part of being a dad. But the thought that I could go away for work, come back and give something to him, blew me away.
Antiseptic hand gels can replace washing hands with soap and water. No, they can't. One thing that soap and water can do that antiseptic hand gels can't do is get rid of dirt. Dirt that carries bacteria and viruses. These hand gels don't get rid of dirt anywhere near as effectively as using soap and water. So soap and water is number one. This is additional, okay? Or it's a substitute only if you can't wash your hands. When people are travelling overseas, particularly the countries of higher risk, I'd strongly recommend that they see their GP or their travel health doctor before they go, preferably 6 weeks before they go, to get the necessary advice and vaccinations to reduce their risk of illness while away.